Hello there guys, Stark here. Today I want to discuss the recent backlash against Modern Warfare 3's seemingly awful campaign quality, length of said campaign, and what that means for the series going forward, and hopefully they can fix things. If you look online in the last few days, I think it's pretty apparent that not a lot of people are actually happy with the new Modern Warfare 3 campaign, part of the early access pre-order or yada 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 that's just come out. Looking at the reviews, which obviously we'll shortly get to, it's not really great, guys, and I think it's indicative of the overall quality of Call of Duty going forward. Really, we're well and truly past the point where Call of Duty was, I mean, not everyone deemed Call of Duty the best games in the world, but when it came to player base, etc., things like that, when you look at, back in 2008 with Modern Warfare 2, Black Ops 2, the Call of Duty's heyday is long gone, right? I think the frustration with this game in particular, and obviously last year's Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, I think the frustration is that after 2019, which was quite a widely acclaimed game for both reviewers and content creators and fans alike, it's the hope that kills you, right? I feel like there was a bit of hope that Call of Duty were eventually getting back to what they should have been back in the day, when you remember sitting in front of your Xbox 360, your PS3, playing with your friends at high school like I was, because that was my jam, right? Modern Warfare 2, after school, get home, talk some shit and play games. Those days are long and gone now. Maybe it's because I'm 28 now, or it's just the overall quality of the games have obviously gone down year on year. So looking at the article that I've just put up on screen here, guys, Modern Warfare 3 code confirms it's essentially Modern Warfare 2 DLC. Modern Warfare 3 game code that has been found in the PlayStation database suggests that this year's title is nothing more than Modern Warfare 2 DLC. Now, I know obviously between sequels and stuff like that, I mean, people use different assets, obviously they reuse assets, animations, etc., things like that, so I don't know how much truth there is to it, but that's what it's kind of feeling like, guys. This should have been sort of like a campaign DLC, or it should have been a season event or something like that. This should have not been a complete separate game that people are yet gonna have to fork out £70 for, or $70, or whatever you're having to pay, right? It's just not worth the cost of entry anymore. And I think what's also more frustrating is there were articles coming out, I think last year, sort of beginning of last year, that Call of Duty, after the Microsoft acquisition, they were actually going to abandon this yearly cycle, which could obviously still happen, don't get me wrong. And Xbox would say no, maybe we go to a 2-year cycle or a 3-year cycle, which I think that's what people are crying out for, guys, because I don't know how much steam obviously it's going to be the best selling game this year, right? It's going to be the best selling game. It's the best selling game every year, that and FIFA. Obviously it's not indicative of the quality of the said game, but it's just getting pathetic, guys, and I don't know about you, but I'm sick to death of every single year there's just an absolute uproar of people online, on YouTube, Reddit, Twitter, etc., or X should I call it, just absolutely throwing chairs about and tables about because Call of Duty, it's going down the pan, this, the campaigns only this is the thing, right? The campaign this year is only 3 to 4 hours.
4 hours.
4 hours! Modern Warfare 3 campaign can be finished in 3 to 4 hours, it's claimed. Modern Warfare 2's campaign last year was around twice as long. And again, a length of a campaign doesn't mean that it's less of a game. I would much rather play a game that's even 3 to 4 hours long if that game gives me my money's worth. If I pay £70 and I get a 4-hour experience, obviously it's a lot of money, right? But if I get an experience where I go away and I think, oh my god, that was the best game that I've ever played in my entire life, I don't care how long it is. It's like I've just recently played, I think it was Spider-Man 2, and people were complaining that it's only 20 hours long. You don't need a game to be 200 hours long for it to be enjoyable. In fact, I would take shorter experiences over these ridiculously time-soaking games. People like me and you probably listening to this right now who have full-time jobs, we don't have time to play these games, or if we do, we at least want them to respect our time, right? So just because a game is 3 to 4 hours long doesn't mean that it's a bad game. However, if you look at the reviews and what I'm about to show you, right, IGN, GameSpot, all the big game reviewers, they're usually quite forgiving when it comes to Call of Duty, because that's where the money's at, right? I think that a lot of big video game reviewer sites, news sites, etc., they give Call of Duty a free pass, and they're quite generous with some of the reviews because that's where the money is. They don't want to lose early access. They don't want to lose all the marketing and the traffic that comes to the website. But this year it looks like this has massively changed. So if you look at IGN, so I've just got up the the summary of the actual campaign review. Now there are obviously others, but I'm just focusing on the biggest one right now. Obviously there are GameSpot and various other review sites that have given them loads of scores. If you want to find them, you can find them yourself. I'm not going to go through every single one. Underbaked, rehashed, cobbled together from multiplayer parts. Modern Warfare 3 single player campaign is everything a Call of Duty story shouldn't be. That's bad. That when you've got IGN, who historically, I think the last game they give a 7. I think Modern Warfare 2 2019 they give like an 8 or a 9. If these guys are giving it a 4, it's got to be dog shit. I'm sorry, it's got to be terrible. Now, just because the campaign's bad doesn't mean that the multiplayer's bad, but I think it's indicative of the amount of effort that's gone into this. I can't remember a time when, now obviously Call of Duty comes out every year, right? But I can't remember a time where a direct sequel within the franchise. So say for example you've got your different franchises, right? Your Modern Warfare, your Black Ops, your different franchises within the franchise. I can't remember. I think this is the first time there's been a direct sequel the year after. I might be wrong. Like I said, I'm not exactly the biggest Call of Duty fan these days. But how much effort and work and polish and love and care can go into a game within a year? Now I know obviously these things get developed, by different teams. It's like, you've got a 2-3 year cycle, but I think they've lost the plot. I really do. And I think other games, such as say for example your Overwatch, however I know Overwatch 2 wasn't exactly well received, but Overwatch, Destiny, Valorant, things like this, if you've got the platform there, I don't condone aggressive microtransactions, battle passes, all this sort of stuff, but you don't need to but Call of Duty does that, right? So Call of Duty has that, but what they also do is they charge you £70 a year for the pleasure. It's like, right, okay, well we'll charge you out of your ass for microtransactions and skins and guns and competitive edge. But then you've got to pay £70 on top of that as well. I mean, I'm not buying this game. I'm not supporting this game. I'm not supporting this company. I think Activision are disgusting. I'm sure there are plenty of amazing people that work within the company, but that's a completely different topic as to all the bad things about Activision. I'm sure if you do a quick Google search, you can find out. So I think realistically, guys, what needs to happen here is they just need to stop making games every year, and I think they need to take a step back. They need to start listening to the fans, because like I said, literally, if you get the news article up, So this is an article on GameSpot, right? Call of Duty might stop being a yearly series, but maybe not soon or ever. According to a report, high-level employees have discussed the possibility of shifting away from a yearly release model. So that goes back to what I mentioned before, where I think, you know, what it says here, like I mentioned, early 2022, these rumours were coming out, and I don't think I bumped into a single person who was annoyed by this, really. We were all clamouring, because at the end of the day, if you pay the £70 for, say for example, a Modern Warfare 3 or a Modern Warfare 2, and that has 3 years of updates, 3 years of top tier support, and then you've got ways to monetize that community. This is the thing, microtransactions and battle passes and, you know, things like this, they've only got a bad name because these companies do it wrong. They don't give gamers value for money. You know, when you're paying £15 or £20 for a skin, you know, like Angry Joe says, when it's blue, you pay £15 for blue. That's just stupid. Like, if you look at the recent sort of DLC that's come out for Cyberpunk and CD Projekt Red in general, one of my favourite gaming companies, obviously they had the mess ups, don't get me wrong, I'm aware of that. But if you look at what they do with the DLC, you're paying £15, £20, £25, but you're getting quality content, guys. And I'm not even talking about the actual length of content. I'm talking about the if you play a game, you touch that controller or you touch that keyboard and you play that game for an hour or even 30 minutes, sometimes it takes 5 minutes, you can tell that care has been put into that game. Selling blue skins or selling a gun that you have to pay for because you keep getting killed by said gun, so yeah, you've got to go out and pay £20 to get a competitive advantage because everyone else has bought it. It's bollocks, man. It's just, that's not good content. So there are ways to monetize games to keep that player base coming back if you give them the experience that they want. I mean, I sit here and I say it's not rocket science, but to me it doesn't seem like rocket science. It's just greed. Greed gets the better of these companies. So what they need to do is they need to abandon the yearly cycle desperately. And I hope with Xbox coming in and obviously Microsoft purchasing Activision, King Blizzard, I hope that that's the case, or Activision Blizzard King. I hope that's the case, because I can't see how it's going to continue like this. They need to figure out a way on how do I say it, ethically, it's a dirty word, monetize, but you've got to figure out a way of ethically monetizing, because these companies need to make money, right? They're not going to give us stuff for free, but ethically monetize your customers. Give them a product they want to pay for. Like I say, it's not rocket science. So that's my opinion on things, guys. Anyway, tell me if you agree or disagree down in the comments. If you like the video, leave a like. Leave a dislike if you don't. Any feedback is greatly appreciated. And if I've blown your socks off, maybe subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching. Enjoy the rest of your days and take care of yourselves.